Hey guys, this is Isaac,
And I'm Josh.
and we are the Year One Podcast.
So, Isaac,
Yes.
why did we start this podcast?
Why did we?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you. Just kidding. So we started this podcast to talk about some dreams, hopes, wants. Talk about what the grind can be like when it's good and not good from our little experience.
Yeah.
And just talking about like what's behind those things, like what's behind our why, like why are we pursuing whether it be money or like a better lifestyle, and what that looks like from a younger perspective, and want to try to pursue that and record it on the way.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's great because we talked about this back in, what was it, July?
July.
That we wanted to start something in
June or
July. And I was like really adamant about it, but it was like nothing was going our way. Nothing was like getting done. Just like one thing after another. There was just like an excuse, and like I was making excuses, and you know it was like, oh man, I don't have the equipment, I don't have this, I don't have people to help me out, and there just became this one day I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out. And we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna get this going, and all of it just came together over the next 6 months, and now we're here, and so I'm just excited to just like talk about whatever.
yeah, like an outlet to get our thoughts out.
Yeah, and I like what you said about the whys in life. Like what are the reasons we do the things we do, and like why is that? Yeah. And so like that's something to like discover. It's like something in your past happened that made you want to pursue a firefighter career. Your house burned down, or well, I hope it didn't, but your house burned down, or our house burned down, which it's almost did a couple times, but or your dad was this, and you're like, I want to do the same thing, or for sure. I'm going to the military because I'm in a military family, which was almost my path, but it's just like that kind of thing, like understanding that like why helps you kind of like either like get back on track or get on to another track, because like are you searching for the right thing, and like understanding like what you actually want from that. So no, I think that's great.
It's actually, I think boy Gary Vee always talks about like when things do get hard and money's not good, your why is going to keep you going. I mean, that's why like Apple crushes like everyone in making money.
Yeah,
it's like I meant to look it up more, but like they know their why, and they know they can keep pushing stuff, and they're making a lot of money because their why is clear to them. And I think, what's that quote? It's like an unobserved life is not worth living. So I think by getting our thoughts out, by dissecting our thoughts and seeing if there's a why, because sometimes there's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I don't know. We can observe those things and then hopefully figure that out so we can pursue what we want to pursue.
Because I agree, because sometimes your why is like, I didn't have any drive ever, or my parents didn't force me to play sports, or my parents didn't force me to do this. And so like, I just don't know, because I have a buddy that's like that. He's just like, I just don't know what I do. I'm just trying everything. And, some things, happen for him, and then other things he's just like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. So it's like, so sometimes like that's your why. And so then it's like, okay, now that's my why, and I have no really like direction. I'm going to like figure it out. And so I think that's a part of being young. And I think I'm honestly in that position right now, because like I want to pursue acting.
Same.
And
I'm glad you brought that up.
That's something that like is my why. I've done it, most of my life, drama classes, all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
I never went like and got classically trained, but it's something I'm taking classes now. Shout out to Barbara Benneville. But yeah, and so doing that now has made me kind of see it more as a career than before when it was just a hobby and I was like, oh shoot, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, actually, can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
That was my first question. Like getting to the basics, 101. Joshua Estez. That's how you say your name. Like, just why did you want to, like, why do you want to pursue acting? Like, straight up from me asking you, like, you telling me, like, why you want to pursue acting? Because I know it's your thing.
There's a lot of things because what sparked your interest? What was that thing that you saw that girl and it was like, pop, you know? I saw that girl and I was like, ooh,
The girl being acting, but
I'm gonna be an actor now because I could,
of course,
possibly have a kissing scene. No, no, I always wanted to be like an actor because I love TV, I love movies growing up, and I was just like, man, wouldn't it be awesome to be like the guy that gets eaten in the by the dinosaur? Remember from Jurassic Park?
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Just not. I'm just naming something random.
I like how you started, though.
That would be awesome to be that. But something more in depth of wouldn't it be awesome to just be on screen, go to a movie with your friends, and you just pop up, and you're like, oh shoot, I'm like here, I'm doing it, I made it. This is like on the screen. It's crazy.
So kind of the wow factor, like.
Yeah,
I'm doing that.
I was just like, whoa, I'm doing this. Like, I can see proof of it. And as well as like, once I got into acting, it kind of changed a little bit, and that's kind of like where I'm talking about the whys kind of changed because I started taking classes, and it became this more of like understanding myself. It kind of became a therapy for me because like I was really like in my shell. I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to show people my emotions. And it's kind of this thing, like my coach has just been really just pushing me towards like knowing who you are now so that in the future, you know how to act, like not just on screen, but in life. I realized I didn't even know how to act in life. And I know that sounds like kind of weird, but it was just like, it was a lot of like fakeness. And like, I'm trying to like change that now, and so like I think it's become this thing of like bettering myself more than just I want to be on screen and I want to be the next Iron Man or something like that. But
Awesome.
What about you? What's in the mind of Isaac?
What's in my mind? What do I want to do?
Yeah.
Well, there's a handful of things of what I want to do. To be straight up honest, my mom asked me this past weekend, and we got in a fight about it. It's funny because my mom's my best friend, but my mom wants me to go to the military. I used to want to go to the military. The first dream I ever had in my life was that I used to watch a lot of Top Gun. We used to watch that a lot. Watched a lot of war movies. And every movie, like, the planes always coming at the last scene saving people's butts. Like finally, like, they call in the airstrike. It's like, do.
Team 6.
Yeah. And they finally, like, save the good guys and end the day. Yeah. And it's like we finally got the airstrike in. And so my first dream was to be a Navy pilot.
For real? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Dude, that's awesome.
Like when I was younger, my dad played this game called Ace Combat. It's still a game, by the way. Shout out to them. But my dad always played it, and he was like, oh, this is that. And partly because he went to the Navy. But what I want to do now, I don't entirely know. I would like to start like a T-shirt brand. Like I really want to start a T-shirt brand, just like whether it's just a fun thing for 3 years and I make no money, that's cool. But I would love to be a UFC fighter. I would love to train. I would love to, even in like, let's say hypothetical, I never got to that level, but I helped train professional athletes, and I was like one of their cornermen, and they went on to win like a lot of championships, and I was part of the team. I would love that too. And part of that is being physically fit and active. Like I just want to keep that throughout my life. And that's hard to discipline yourself to do. So sport is a cool way to keep that physical fitness. But yeah, I would love to be a UFC fighter.
Dude, well, it's gonna happen.
It's not very profitable. It can be, just like every profession. Like if you get to the top tier, of course it can be profitable. Like videography or wedding industry or whatever it is. Like selling cars, like, that can be great, or you could be at CarMax, you know. You could be in Italy selling Lambos, or you can be at CarMax in Kennesaw in Georgia. But yeah, I want to be a UFC fighter, and there's some more stuff behind that. But yeah.
No, dude. I mean, I see it. I mean, you told me yourself that you're like, I want to do an amateur fight this year. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. And I can see it, and you have that mentality of, like, whatever it takes, I'm going to figure this out. And so, like, I think that needs to be, and that needs to be something that we all do. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, very hard to, like, get on that track. Mm-hmm. And I think I still times just, like, oh, shoot, this is a lot. I don't know if I can do this. Or I have to do this to get where I want to go. Like, that's impossible. I don't know. I think changing your mindset on that and being like, no, like, I think I'm going to misquote this, and it's going to be awful. But I know Gary Vee was, like, talking. I saw on one of his Instagram posts.
Shout out. He was
like, whatever you want to do in life, don't let the don't let your mind mess that up. It was something like that. I can't remember exactly the quote. I'm, like, completely misquoting it right now. We let our mind stop anything that we want to do, and so keep dropping my phone. So I, like, can completely agree with that, because, like, acting is not a profitable industry unless you're in the top tier. Like, there's the B actors and there's the A actors.
Yeah, I think there's a statistic.
It's like 1% of the A actors.
Yeah. There's, like, a statistic that, like, 2% of actors or 3% really live off acting.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people have jobs. Like, even, like, some of, like, the big actors that I don't know. I was going to say I know, but I don't know them. You know, I'm just, like, texting Chris Hemsworth right now. But no, like, even some, like, bigger actors, like, still have other jobs. You know, like,
for sure.
You know, I think, who is it? Like, Paul Rudd owns a candy shop somewhere. Like, it's just like, you know, they have their side jobs and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's, like, his profitable stuff, because he's Ant-Man, so, I mean, he can live like Ant-Man for the rest of his life. But anyway, I think that's cool, and I want to see you do that. Yeah. And I think this podcast, like, helping us talk about this out loud, and, like, other people hopefully watching this will kind of, like, see that, and then see our progression as we go throughout these, you know, podcasts.
Or even, like, we can, as I know, someone said to me a month ago, a guy that I do life with, he was like, you're a verbal processor. Like, you need to verbally, like, spew out things to process them. Like, if you just keep it in your head, it's going to be really hard to work through some of those thoughts. And that's actually what I wanted to ask. My next question was about to dive into, was, like, from your perspective and just, like, your answer, like, why, and I think everyone has an opinion and answer on this, but why do you think it's hard to act? Like you said, stuff stays in the head. Like, why is it hard to act on those things? Whether it be family, past experiences, whether it just be, like, stage fright, or, like, you're on a cliff and it's just, like, you know, why do you think it's hard to move on those thoughts?
No, yeah. I think myself.
Josh's take.
Honestly, I think myself.
What do you mean by yourself? Because that can mean a lot of things.
Well, yeah, I get in my head a lot, and I'm like, is this the right decision? Because I could be doing this because my parents are telling me, hey, this is a more reliable way of income, or this is a more reliable way to live your life. And, you know, I could be doing that, but then I'm like, I know what I want, and I want to go for it, and then I screw up because I'm like, and then something happens, and I'm like, crap. I don't have any money this week. I can't even eat. I like, you know, eating one meal a day, you know, like, just to survive. And it's like, what am I doing in my life? And I'm like, is my parents right? And yes, they are right, you know, like, but I think anything you want to do is difficult, and you have to keep going for it no matter what. And so, like, I'm reiterating that continuously. Like, I think I've answered your question every single time that way, but, like, I think it's really myself. I stop myself all the time. Even in acting, I stop myself.
For sure.
But yeah, what about you? I'm curious about that.
Well, with that said, I think we have a time for our sponsors.
Oh yeah,
real
we do.
Quick.
We need
a little
we
segment.
need to
So
do
we're just going to
little
take a
segment.
pause right here.
All right, our sponsors today are shout out to Evan Colazzo at EC Creative Co. He is a wonderful man and a wonderful music artist. He runs the Collaboration Project.
Yeah.
Great little group that meets together every Sunday, and they write music, play songs, and I help them sometimes. They shoot one-shot music videos, and it's really great. And I just want to give a shout-out to them for sponsoring this, as well as Next Level Recording. Marcus, shout-out to you for the audio equipment. He does anything from rap to country to rock, just mastering music. And I have no real script for these ads, but I'm just like thinking of things, as well as you've mastered movies and music videos and stuff like that, and he's really great at it, and you should check him out. So, as well as Eric Decker, shout out to Eric Decker. Go follow him at Airack. That's AIRRACK. Shout out to him. He's actually right over here in the background, showing us the clock. So we have to get back to the podcast now.
So why do we get stuck on our heads?
Yeah, well,
Isaac's answer.
Well, more of like
Why is it hard to take
reiterating your question.
Okay.
Of what holds us back. Like why do we not go for what we want to do in life?
That's a good question. Like I said before, I think I have this on my notes app. I have a list of just like quotes, like one-liners that I like. I'm like, I'll be in a movie and be like, oh, that was so good. That's heat. So I'll put it in my phone, and like sometimes I'm like, I bet half of these are from C.S. Lewis. You know how it's always you go to church or something, and you go somewhere, it's like C.S. Lewis said it.
Yeah.
But the quote I said earlier, that when knowledge exceeds experience, fear sets in and action is never taken. I think for me, a big thing is like important people in my life telling me things like, oh, it's probably for other people. Like, I think I've shared this before with us, but when I was playing football, like one of my big dreams when I was younger was to play college football. Like, I really wasn't a fan of NFL, and still I'm not, but college football is my thing. Every Saturday morning I wake up and watch it. I remember my grandmother saying to me, I was at her house, and she was like, yeah, you're probably not big enough. And she just said, like, I love my grandmother to death. She's awesome. Funny I'm putting this out there, but like, she just was like, yeah, you're probably not like big enough or fast enough, right? And I was a sophomore, and I was like I'm working on it. And the way her tone, it just felt like that's not for you. And so I was like, dang, like I can't do that. It just felt like an older person in my life that I care about said something detrimental about something I love that I do, and so I really think important relationships in your life can really take you away from what you want to do.
Yeah. Family, friends.
Yeah.
Friends of friends.
I've already talked to my mom about this. She's my best friend. But she said something once, and it was sophomore year, and she was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I was just spitballing. But I was like, man, like UGA football, like that's the thing, you want to get. And she laughed and said, ha, good luck. And it was just like
good luck.
The clip from 300, like,
Just like
did that to my soul. Yeah. I love my mom, and she know we've talked about that plenty, once or twice. But important
Shout
relationships.
out to the moms.
Important relationships. People speaking into your life, saying like that's probably not for you. That's been like a big like. And I think look like when it comes to profession or like dream job, like people will look at a job as like you are like your performance is who you are. And football, like, it was hard because when you don't perform well, you attach that to your identity. Like, oh, I'm not good. But I think just to answer the question, I think the biggest thing, just one answer, is that important relationships, people that are really close to you.
Yeah.
So
another like not as serious why, but like I know like because we all have phones, we all have internet.
Yeah.
Sound like a boomer right now. The internet's been out for like what? 30 years,
Oh,
20, 25 years. I don't know.
yeah.
Someone fact check me on that real quick. No, but I think because of that, we let people that we don't even see in our daily lives like dictate how we feel about a certain situation or feel about ourselves.
Yeah.
And like do you let that affect you at all? Like do you let like even people online affect your decisions?
Shout out to all my fans.
Dude, my
Commenting.
straight 400 followers on Instagram.
No, I think people that are not really. I think that's the question. Like people who you don't have a relationship with you, can they affect you as well? I think it totally can.
Because, dude, like, YouTube is mean. And this guy in the back, can't even see him, but he knows. Like, YouTube, people are ruthless.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
because they're in front of a screen and they're just like, oh, you suck. And then, like, you know, they just, I mean, they say.
Or they
worse
think
than that, but-
like you need to be humbled. So it's
Yeah.
like this guy's not that great.
Yeah.
And that's like, ooh, you know, and not everyone's on the same frequency.
Yeah.
And they just hit, and it's just. I was actually watching a Netflix documentary last night, and the girl on the Cheer documentary is super popular and big, and she was saying 1,000 great comments. One of them can be like negative, like you suck. Yeah. Like she's not that great. You're not really talented, and it really like she wanted to delete Instagram, and I was like, dang. But to your question, yes, I think people you don't have a relationship with can affect dreams, thoughts, by their actions or their words. There's a conversation of like which one is worse, like close to you or not close to you. I think it's situational, but I think people you don't have a relationship with can definitely affect your
Is there,
thoughts.
like, you don't necessarily have to answer this, but, like, is there, like, a specific thing? You don't have to name anybody, say anything, but, like, is there a specific time or, like, somebody that was, like, on the internet that just ridiculed the crap out of you?
Oh, on the internet. I was like, I'm about to call someone out from high school.
You're going down.
You ain't safe. Someone online.
Yeah, just someone, like, online. Like, I mean, you probably know them, or, like, you might not know them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they just said something and it just got to you and you thought about
Just
it.
rubbed me the wrong way.
You're just like,
Yeah, so about like 2 years ago, I was making a stupid Instagram story. I'm a huge Drake fan, and I'm like trying to word one of his songs, like one of his, just one of the lines from one of his songs, and I had a friend DM me after that, and he basically like cussed me out with every word possible. To be like, I could tell he's trying to be funny.
yeah.
I hadn't talked to him a while before that, but he'd said that, and I was just like, and then he was like, "You're like dumb," and I knew like I was being stupid.
Bro.
I was being funny in the first place,
yeah.
but it just really like hit me, and I was like, "Bro, this like, dang man, like I was just trying to like, this is a cool song, and it just took the rest of the afternoon. It took me out of it for a little bit, and I was just like, man, like you took the time to type that out and really make sure I felt that, you know.
Yeah. You spent the time.
And this friend wasn't super close, but he was close enough. And
It's one of those like,
mean?
bro, we're not even that close. Like,
yeah, I wasn't even angry. I was just like kind of just taken back.
just
But
like,
yeah,
okay,
that's one scenario where
Yeah.
he like hit me up, and I was like, dang, bro.
yeah. And it always gets worse than that because, you know, like there's people that are like, man, that really like hit me hard. And I think one thing interesting, and like, I know we're probably going to have to wrap up soon, but there was I didn't even realize it, but you remember the guy that played Jar Binks? Mm-hmm. There's a video online of the guy that actually played him, and he got so much like hate on the internet from people like just all over the world for playing Jar Binks that he tried to kill himself. He tried to jump off a bridge.
Really?
And it's like his story about it, and like I'll put the link in the description, but like it's just so interesting because like a guy that was like just in a movie, he was in Star Wars, he was like, this is awesome. I get to work with Steven Spielberg. Right. You know, I get to do this, and you know, and everybody was just like, dude, I hate Jar Binks. You suck. You need to die. Like all these kind of stuff. And it was just like, it just got to him. He had a kid and everything. and he was like, I'm gonna jump off the
Wow.
I think it was the Golden Gate Bridge. He was gonna jump off of it, and then he realized this is not my life. He was like, what am I doing right now? And he stepped down, and now he's lived to tell the story. But it's like,
crazy.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the internet affecting you in that way.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so like that's an extreme. Like we go from like someone saying something on one post to like, you know, that. But
For sure.
but I definitely agree that the internet. But yeah, I think that's a big big part of it. And another thing too, like I think people complain about the quality of things, and that's why I was afraid to do the podcast as well, because fear
Topic
of
of fear.
fear of not owning up or having, you know, a good podcast because the audio sucks, you know, the cameras suck, but you know, it just all came together, and like I wanted to look good. I think fear helps in a way a little bit. It helps you make sure that you maintain quality, but at the same time, I think fear can also affect you not actually pursuing something as well.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I think the overarch of just kind of like wrapping it a little bit, but like our topic is like why is it hard to take action? Like fear, people, relationships. A leader in my life likes to say false evidence appearing real, like fear, like it's just hard. I definitely am a big believer. There's two sides to every coin. So like we're talking about people say things and it affects you. I definitely think you can also you can have the maturity to step back and be like, it affects you as much as you let it, you know?
Yeah.
So I really like this stuff. I think bringing up the things why you're afraid to take action is like a big, like once you know why you're afraid, you can, once you're aware of it, you can change it. And I think that's the goal of it. What we're kind of talking about right now is like, why was it hard to start this thing? Like, why was it hard to even talk? It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just it's fear and people, man, relationships. So anything you want to say before we drop it?
I just say that I'm excited for this journey. So we challenged ourselves to do a podcast every week. And so we're gonna keep doing that, and just keep talking. You know, these are riffs. Like we don't have we have a minimal script for this kind of thing. So, and we need to be more prepared. But it's okay. I think that's the journey. Is just like figuring
that's
out.
the point. Just jump.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get better at it.
So we're actually gonna cut it here because we could talk for a couple hours. But it's been a pleasure, Isaac.
It is.
Sound like I'm somebody from Chick-fil-A. But anyway, we're going to cut it off. And thanks for listening to the Year One podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Isaac.
And you've been watching us.
Yeah. Eat your sandwiches. Eat your cereal.
Eat your Wheaties.
Frosted Flakes.
What is your favorite cereal, by the way?
Probably Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs?
Frosted Flakes make your breath smell really bad.
They do, but I really do like Frosted Flakes.
What's the one that looks like it's got snow on it?
It's got
No, it's
got
the
snow
no
on
the wheat
You mean
thing.
Wheaties?
It looks like Triscuits.
Wheaties.
No.
Oh, what is it?
No. It's the ones. It's got
snow on it.
It's got the dude on it.
The dude. They're great.
Frosted. No. They look like Triscuits,
Triscuits.
but they're like
Wheaties. Not Wheaties. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like the little, like they eat each other. No, that's Captain Crunch.
if you keep answering wrong, I'm gonna be mad.
It's the ones where they like jump into the milk from the trampoline. Is it?
Yeah, in like commercial they do, but I'm talking about the one. It's got one side's got the white just frosted stuff on it, the other side's not. We'll
I can't remember.
I'm
Someone
getting,
tell
I'm
us in the
getting
comments.
frustrated. I'm about to get mad. I'm gonna
Okay.
take it personal.
All right.
Eat your cereal. See you guys later.
See ya.